All right. We're going to continue with the June 4th Board of Selectmen meeting. Invite everybody to stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we had several non-publics starting at 4:30 this afternoon. I'm going to go over the ones that I think we need to seal if the board agrees. First one is 91A:32B. Sorry, I mean 2C.
Make a motion to go ahead and seal.
Actually, that one we don't need to seal. I'm sorry, I got my list all screwed up here. It's two. So 91A:32A, 2BA. Here we go. We need to. I'll make a motion to seal that for 6 months.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second one is 91A:32J. Make a motion to seal that for 6 months.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
91A:32B. Make a motion to seal that for 3 months.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And 91A:32B. Make a motion to seal that for indefinitely.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next on the agenda, we have public comment. Before I open the public comment, I just want to remind everyone that the public comment part of the agenda is not intended to be a question and answer session between the board and the public. It's an opportunity for public to comment, and we ask that the comments be kept to 3 minutes or less. So that being said, I will open up the public comment.
We're not going to get a yes or a nay from you or anything?
And if you would please state your name before you comment, that would be appreciated. So, John?
John Gellert.
Is a demonstration of wire
My public comment tonight is I would like to thank the Board of Selectmen for the town of Milton for the interest they're showing on all historical sites in the town of Milton. I'm very pleased with what I'm seeing. Also, in line with the public comment, I put together a package for all three of you board to get started on the project that was mentioned by you at the last Board of Selectmen's meeting, the town pound, to restore that. I put together a package of the pictures of the condition of it. I put together a total history of all Board of Selectmen for the last 3 years, the discussions, for you to read to get started on the new project. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It's just a comment.
Just
And that
state your
is to
name.
make sure that the
State your
agenda-
name first.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear what.
State your name.
Oh, Lynette McDougal, sorry. And I just want to make sure that you guys get the agenda and thing that's up on the calendar. If you guys can please get the dates and the hours right, okay? Because public, they didn't match up, and I thought you were having some other kind of meeting at 4:30.
Okay,
Okay, that's all.
thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Clarify why the non-public starts.
Yeah, we'll ask.
Okay.
Larry?
Larry Brown. Two things. One, I think I remember correctly that May 20th is the last day in which a landlord is legally required to provide heat in the state of New Hampshire. It was 40 degrees this morning. My furnace kicked on. More importantly, when you seal minutes, it would be useful to say it is being sealed as a personnel matter, as a legal matter. Not everybody keeps a copy of the 91A at hand. No objection to the action.
Thank you.
Of Wirecast.
All right, do I have any other public comment? I will close public comment. Okay, next we have old business. Libby Enterprise discussion. So I'll ask Heather for an update.
This morning we had it was a junkyard, as you know, and the junkyard was inspected. We had the junkyard inspected by the code enforcement officer, and the deputy fire chief from Rochester went up and did the inspection, and we will be getting the report shortly. So as you had asked, we had an inspector come in, and they did that, and they went up this morning and did the inspection, and they said they were there for several hours, and we're waiting for that report.
Did they say how long it would take?
They said we'd be getting it shortly. He
Okay.
said the next day or so.
Board all set?
Good.
All right, next, new business. I've had a request to actually move, he does the,
I'll
does the
recognize
board
it. I
wanna,
mean, his hand was up before we.
okay, so the board is a consensus that we wanna allow?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes?
Yeah, Roger Libby. I was in here 2 weeks ago, as you will remember, asked if there's any questions. Joe shows up today, supposedly at 10:30, and he said he'd try to get the report for tonight. I like to move along with this, seeing it's been over a month now of getting that signed. Now, unless there's some reason, can't we just sign it and wait for the report?
I know my personal thoughts on that. I mean, we can't sign something if we don't have the inspection report. That,
But
Okay, can the, will
I don't know if the board agrees with that or not.
Yeah, I'm not signing something until I see what his report is.
I respectfully
Is you-
ask to be recognized.
Does the
by
board want to recognize?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Kim Belanger. Approximately a month ago, we had the first on the agenda of Bell Enterprises, excuse me, to be come up for renewal of the permit. We provided the board with a letter with statements that we thought the board was aware of, asked specifically if within a time fashion of the next board meeting, which was 2 weeks after that, if you guys had any questions, would you please let us know. If you wanted to provide them in writing, that'd be great. If not, to let the town administrator know. We called a couple of times. Board have any questions? Has anybody asked anything? We haven't heard anything. We came to the next meeting. There was nothing said, no questions asked. Originally, at the first meeting, we had requested, because of the time constraints from the state, that this be moved on quickly. The first we heard was when the town administrator called us and said, we're sending an inspector up to inspect your yard. They'll be there at 9 o'clock, and then we got a call, I don't know, the next day, whatever, when they're supposed to be there, at 9:15, saying, oh, they're not coming today, so we have to reschedule, which is fine. I know, we all know that happens and things happen. But it seems like there's some unanswered questions. We've never had an inspection, well, I won't say never, we haven't had an inspection in the last quite a few years that we've renewed the permit. And now, all of a sudden, we're having an inspection. And we'd like to know what the issues are so we can address them as a business. Any other business in town comes in and says, well, what do you want? Tell us, and then they address it. I feel like that you guys aren't telling us what the issues might be so that we could address them. So, thank you. That's my comment.
I will just make a comment, and if the board can let me know if they agree with me or not, but the board is trying to follow the rules and regulations, make sure we're doing everything right per the RSAs, and that's strictly what we're doing. And until we get the report from the experts that do the inspection, we really can't make any comments. The board agree?
Yeah,
I agree.
All right.
Joe's not an expert. He's a code enforcement officer with the town of Rochester, hired by the town of Milton.
All right,
So
so,
it's not-
excuse me, but
he's not-
we're not gonna debate,
Well, he's not the state.
we're not
which I
gonna
go
debate.
through. So can I ask how long it's gonna take for this procedure to go on?
When we get the report, we will let you know if there were any findings. That's, we don't know any more than you do right now. So,
I just wish every business in town had to go through the same thing.
all right, so
State. Going to be in here.
we will move on to new business.
I'm gonna move 5 up.
Yeah, so I've had a request to move number 5 up, which is Morrow and Sons Landscaping donation offering. So I will do this one first, if the board's all set with that. So I will invite Morrow and Sons Landscaping to come up, or speak from there.
It's actually Morrow and Sons and Branch River Irrigation doing it, but 2 businesses. But yeah, we want to donate an irrigation system to the town of Milton for the Veterans Park. Be ashamed to let all that hard work that the town and everybody else put in to go to waste.
This is a demonstration of why.
All right.
The question we have is, what do we need to do to make it happen? What do you guys need from us?
I think the best thing to do would to coordinate services with Pat Smith, because he knows how much water we're getting per minute, how many gallons per minute we're getting. And I think he'd be happy to work with you on that. And I had a conversation with him Thursday on that, and he'd be the expert on what's going on with that. But that would be the next step.
I'd make a motion to accept their generous offer.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you very much.
What does that entail as far as what's there? I mean, where they just seeded it, they're just going to trench it, put the lines in, and tie it into the pump? Or?
Well, I have a machine with it's a vibe plow, so it actually pulls the line. I'm sure you're familiar.
Like a slice seeder type?
Yeah, kind of like, so it does a lot less damage to the lawn than like running a regular trencher across it. So basically, I mean, you guys have the well, you have some power outlets.
Have you looked at what's been sprayed? Is that grass going to come back, or are they we have to rehydro that, the banking?
The banking's probably going to have to be reseeded, in my opinion.
Oh, Pat, I had his hand up.
Sorry.
It is going to be reseeded. The heavy rain that we had after we seeded it washed a lot of it off. So the plan is to come back and reseed the areas that didn't take. So that is hopefully going to be done this week. We're hoping.
I mean, should we coordinate it so you get your stuff in before we eat, so we don't lose it again?
Well, I did a rough sketch,
Yeah.
and I think the best course of action with that is to keep the sprinkler heads on the upside of that hill.
Yeah.
Because of plows, things like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
So the heads that we were planning on putting in have the ability to kind of back spray and cover the side of that hill with adequate water. So as far as them reseeding the side of the hill, we don't really plan to do any kind of digging or pulling pipe on the side of that hill itself. So if you guys wanted to reseed that, as far as what we were planning to do, there's really nothing going in there. We were just going to try and get an overspray.
Now, will that well suffice as far as water supply?
I measured it 2 weeks ago. We're getting 12 gallons a minute. And I did relay that information to these gentlemen. And if they zone it,
yeah, so it comes on. Yep.
And there's always, like I was telling Pat, the option, we can program delays in between the zones, so that if the well does need any time to recover.
It boosts up.
Yeah, so I mean, we can do 45 minutes, an hour. I mean, you figure we have almost all night to water it, and we figured roughly 7 zones. So I think it's a very doable thing. Like I said, I'd like to keep the system around 8 gallons a minute, so we're not totally taxing that pump. And I went down and took some measurements earlier, and got a decent idea of what we got to get done over there.
I, for one, appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, that's kind of been a common theme with everybody, it seems, on social media and all that, is making the town look better. So
yeah.
you know, if it's something we can donate a day or two's worth of time to and, you know, help get that ball rolling, then, you know, it's something we don't have a problem doing.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you for your time.
Greatly appreciate it. Pat?
I'd just like to thank Morrow and Sons and Branch River Irrigation for their generous offer, and I look forward to working with them in the future. Appreciate it very much.
Great. All right. So now we'll bounce back to number 2 under new business, which is July scheduled Board of Selectmen meeting adjustments. Heather?
Yeah, the first week of July, we have the holiday. There's a lot of fluctuation that week, and I was gonna see if we could move the selectmen meeting to the next week, which is the 9th. The Monday the 9th. We have, July has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Mondays in it. So that would allow us to have still, we can meet the 9th. I was gonna suggest we meet the 9th and maybe the 16th, but it's up to you. Or maybe the 9th and 30th. What's going on? I'm looking at, I'm seeing faces kind of cringe on me.
I'm on vacation those 2 days, so.
Okay. What would other people like to meet?
I have concert tickets.
What? Like, where are you going? Where are you going?
You guys are too busy.
I know. Well,
Hey, I do very, very little.
They have friends, remember?
Right, I don't have any.
Totally. I know, I got concert tickets too.
I mean, I hate to put it.
If you want to go, if I can make it the 9th, I'll be here. I don't know what.
Do we want to do the 16th and the 30th, or does the 30th not work?
Well,
of Wirecast.
We're doing the 4th and the 18th, and then we're gonna have 3 weeks in between meetings. That's a long time.
What are you? I was gonna say the 9th.
It's almost a month. It is a month between.
What, the 9th and the 6th, 9th and the
Between
16th.
if we have a meeting on the 18th of June and not have another meeting till July 16th, that's a month of no meetings.
The 9th?
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people off. I mean, even getting department heads. It's
Right.
just gonna be hard. That were the first 2.
Well, even if you do the 18th and then do another one the 25th following week, if we have, see what the agenda looks like.
Yeah, we could do something like that.
I'd feel more comfortable than not having one for a month.
Well, you're not gonna do a month. I mean, you go the
Or you got the
23rd.
23rd.
Yeah.
No,
So
if you go from
If you go the 28th and then go, I mean, the
This is a
The 9th.
25th and then go up to the,
16th of July.
yep.
Okay. Yeah.
To the 25th and the 16th?
Yeah. Of June and 16th of July.
Does that work? No, not for you.
That's fine.
All right.
Nothing. We'll talk about it.
That's fine. So June 25th and then again
of
The
Wirecast.
16th.
July
of July.
16th.
June 25th.
So 1 in July.
No, it's July 16th and July 30th. Is that what we're saying?
Then you go again the following week
That's the
Let's
only
see.
thing.
for your
Yeah.
schedule.
I say, why don't we just tentatively stick with the 16th of July? And then
July 16th.
we'll see what's going on if we have to have another one before the 6th.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll call it.
We'll
All right.
have to
Yeah,
call it.
fine.
Yeah, so let's go with the 16th. And then if we need to, we'll call it.
Yep. So we could update the website
Yep.
and town calendar.
Okay. All right, update the website.
All right.
So the next, we will meet, now we're gonna meet the 18th and then we'll, okay. Good.
Okay, next we have 2018 dog warrants.
Are you keeping the 18th? Or are you changing the 18th to the 25th?
What are you talking about? No, keeping the 18th.
This is
So
a
3
June.
meetings
of
in June.
Wirecast.
No, 2.
You just said the 25th.
No, we said the 18th.
June staying the way it is.
June's staying the way it is.
We're just gonna have one in July as of right now.
Okay. Dog warrants.
Dog warrants.
Chief Cross is gonna handle the dog warrants.
So this is a warrant for unlicensed dogs to Milton Police Department from Board of Selectmen. Subject warrant for unlicensed dogs pursuant to the New Hampshire RSA 466:14 entitled warrant proceedings. You are directed to proceed forthwith either to collect the fees due to the town of Milton, to be turned over to the town clerk, or seize any unlicensed dogs for holding in an appropriate holding facility pursuant to New Hampshire RSA 466:16 entitled returns. You have until August 31st, 2018 to return this warrant with a statement as to whether all the unlicensed dogs in the town of Milton, New Hampshire have been seized and held under the provisions of this chapter, and whether complaints have been entered against all persons who have filed to comply with the provisions. Milton Board of Selectmen. Now we need to sign it.
So we have 166 currently unlicensed dogs in the town of Milton. Michelle will send out her second notice to these 166 residents, advising them to come in and license their dogs. If they do not come in and license their dogs, then the police department will get the most updated list after that notice goes out, and we will go and start issuing citations for failure to license their dogs. We will not be issuing warnings because they've already received, that would be ultimately their third warning from the town to license their dog, because she's already sent out one notification. We put it on our Facebook page, license your dog by a certain date. The town put it on theirs, and it is state law to license them by a certain date. And the police department has until August 31st to finish the warrant list and come back to the board and let you know the first meeting in September what our outcome was on the list of dogs that were given to us.
All right. All set?
Okay.
This is
Next item on the agenda, 2016 warrant article 9 wording discussion. John Cadwick. John?
My name is John Callick. Unfortunately, it appears that we did an incorrect wording of a warrant article 9 in 2016. And the warrant article is Milton Cemetery Expendable Trust Fund. It doesn't state that the sales of lots goes into this expendable trust fund. So I'm in the process of holding up sales of burial lots for the Milton Mill Cemetery due to this incorrect verbiage stated by the trustees of the trust fund of Milton. The cemetery trustees in Stone Mill Hill Municipal Solutions, meaning Joanne Smith is a subcontractor that works for the town of Milton, recommended to deposit and take sales of cemetery burial lots to the general fund line item, sales of town-owned property. That line item states, sales of town-owned property, per Joanne, in year end to encumber to deposit to the revised warrant article for the Cemetery Expendable Trust Fund after the voters approve of the new warrant article on the ballot next year. Now, I hope and I think that our town administrator Heather's been working with our legal on this, and I'd like to have her speak at this time.
Late this afternoon, I got a legal opinion from the attorneys, and I've shared it with the board. One of the things we found out is the warrant article wasn't incorrect. It just doesn't do what we had hoped it would have done. So there's an easy housekeeping fix to this, and that is we're going to set up a line in the general fund, work with Joanne on this, and basically the town attorney gave us the wording for the next warrant article already, so that we can put that, the wording for the new warrant article. It's one of our warrant articles we've got listed already for next year on the warrant, and hopefully it will pass. The line that we should go ahead with our cemetery sales and the sales of all plots, so that should not be held up any further. So please go ahead with those. the funds that come in from that should be brought into the town, and they should be deposited into the general fund, into that specific line. And that will be taken care of by Joanne. And then in December, we will come back to the Board of Selectmen, and we will ask the Board of Selectmen to encumber this line into the following year. Hopefully, when the voters vote in March, they will correct this housekeeping matter. So once it is corrected, then the money can be put into from this specific line can be turned into the expendable trust fund, and that will take care of it. It's just a housekeeping matter. It's very simple, but it just needs to be done that way. So we can sell lots. We should sell lots. We should just go ahead and do it. But from our legal opinion, from Stephen Whitley at Attorney Mitchell's office, that's what we've been advised to do.
Okay, if I could, please. I'd like to follow up on some of the statements, Heather, you have made. First of all, we cannot take the total sales of the lot and put it in the general fund. And the reason being is that there's PC, perpetual care funds included in this, and it's against the law to commingle perpetual care private funds with town general funds. So what I recommend that we do to be legal would be to take, and I tell the customer, I need 2 checks. One for PC, this would go in the trustees of the trust fund account, and one for the town of Milton general fund for the land itself. You cannot commingle perpetual care money in the general fund.
Let me just check that, since that would be the second check. I can double check that
Okay,
that
you
specific
can double
question.
check it, but that is the law.
And I understand that there are 2 different things, but let me check with Stephen Whitley about that to follow up.
Okay. One thing involved with this also, did our new attorney, Heather, take a look at the application for right to inter that's on record with the town of Milton?
He looked at, I sent him everything, so
Okay. Did he look at that?
he reviewed all the documents, he said.
Okay, because that states on there what we're supposed to be doing. Okay, the only thing that was wrong is just the warrant article. But the certificate to right to inter, not a deed, we don't do deeds anymore, it's all been changed. That has to, they have to take a look at that and make sure that it's in sync with the new warrant article next year. Let me read it to you, the critical points.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
The total cost of each lot shall include total cost of lot $600 in the Mill Cemetery. Meaning 200 of that goes for perpetual care fund that I just explained to you. The other $400 goes to the expendable trust fund. So in order to do this, to keep with this guideline, we don't want to change this. We need to have the customer make, like I stated, 2 checks or 2 cash amounts to do
This is
this.
a demonstration of
And keep it
Wirecast.
separate. I've already checked with the Attorney General's office, we cannot put the money in the general fund. Because it's known anyway, it's commingling they call it.
For perpetual care.
The perpetual care money, you're saying you don't want to commingle, is what you're thinking.
That's correct.
I will double check with Stephen Whitley because of the perpetual care, but he did say he looked at everything. I will double check with him tomorrow.
Okay, now, make sure that we're all clear on this too for the future. If the warrant article passes, what it means is, starting next year, that anybody that comes to purchase a burial lot for the town of Milton, one check will be made out to the trustees of the trust fund after that warrant article is approved. Because the PC money will go under their control as well as the sale of the lot in the expendable trust fund. You understand that? Okay. Thank you.
All right.
I'm open for questions.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
My understanding is, I think we were getting 2 different things mixed up. The sale of the lot money is what we were talking about, and the perpetual care is different.
Perpetual care is different, so we just need to verify what needs to happen, how we need to handle that.
Right.
So if it all ends up, next year for the warrant article, if it all ends up in the trust, with the trustees of the trust
That's
fund,
correct.
then it's clean.
That's was the original plan, correct?
So it's technically two separate things anyway.
It is two separate.
You're selling a lot and then you're
Taking care of
selling,
the lot.
taking care of the lot. It's two
Take care of it.
completely separate things,
That's
so.
right.
Everything
Thanks,
we were
guys.
talking about had to do with sale of the lot, not perpetual care.
Right.
That's why I say it's important that you look at the intent of, you know, for the burial thing too,
Right.
the certificate.
But
That was all done by our legal, both of those, okay by, but somebody made a mistake, but we can correct it.
yeah, he said we have to look at 289 too. So,
All right. You good?
I think so.
Good. Thank you, John. All right, next, discussion of mower purchase. Pat?
Pat Smith, Public Works Director. I had given you guys some pictures. That tractor that you're looking at is a 1991 Ford 6600 Series 2. It's a two-wheel drive, four-cylinder diesel. It's got a cab with heat and air. It has an 8-foot side mower, and the original hours on that tractor is 1,606 hours. There's a picture of that hour meter that's in that that packet that we have. We have a mower right now that broke down last season, so this will be the second season that we haven't been able to mow our roads. That tractor is a 1970-ish. We can't find parts for it, is the reason why it sits. We have this type of mower in the CIP plan. Wade and myself went to Hampton Falls to inspect this tractor and to look it over and to try it out. And based upon Wade's inspection, he feels that the tractor's in good shape. It needs paint and some cosmetic work, but overall, it seems to be a sound piece of equipment. Based on his report to me, I'm here to request, we have $15,835.02 in the Highway Special Equipment Capital Reserve Fund. We can purchase that tractor with the 8-foot mower for $15,000. And that's what I'm here to do, to request permission to move forward on that tractor.
It's not a flail mower, then.
What I have, Andy, is a flail mower that's going to go on the back of that. We have a mower that's on the old tractor, which will fit right on the back of that tractor.
So we're gonna still have a flail mower?
Right.
Okay.
Yep. The reason that we were looking for something compatible was so that our mower would mount right on it and hook up to it.
Now, will this one do, with the one that's on the back, does that still function?
The one that's on the back, he's going to keep. The one that's on the side is more for like grass, and that's not something we can use. I would recommend that we put that out for bid and sell it after you take it off.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Do you have anything to compare it to? I mean, do we have anything to compare it to?
What do you?
Price-wise or anything? I mean,
We got online and we took the information and the specs off of this tractor and compared it to other sales online, and it lines right up with what tractor sales are going for. The 1970, we paid $12,500 like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Demonstration of
So
Wirecast.
it's not that far off, and this is a 1991. Again, I'd have to rely on Wade. He's the mechanic. He went through it and checked it out. The antifreeze was clean. It started right up. He ran it down the road. It's a standard type transmission.
Sounds like we did our research.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
I'll make the motion.
That was 15,000, you said, correct?
15,000. The capital reserve fund total balance is $15,835.02.
Was that his asking price, was 15?
His asking price was 16, but he wanted the more, so he took 1,000 off of that more on the back. I tried to get him down lower, he wouldn't move. His comment was, look it up online, you'll find out that it's right there where it should sell at.
So what's it gonna cost to get it to be roadworthy? I mean, is there, I mean, other than cosmetic, is it ready to hook up to the flail mower and
Yeah,
go?
it'll take us, we'll have to remove the side mower, and then we'll have to mount the flail mower on the back of it. It'll take a little bit to put everything together.
What's on the front of it?
That is a hydraulic tank.
For the back or for
That
the?
runs that side 8-foot mower.
So you won't need that on the front of it?
No, because the flail mower runs off the PTO.
Yeah.
So I tried to do as much research on it as I could based on what it is. I did have him send me a bunch of pictures so that you could at least get a look at it, so that you would know exactly what it looks like inside and out, and a picture of the hours so that you would know that it's got 1,600 hours on it.
Right.
You make a
I
motion?
made a motion.
I'll second it.
Wirecast.
All right. All in favor?
Alright.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have approval of minutes. Everybody had a chance to read the May 21st minutes?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve them as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
Everybody had a chance to read the May 29th workshop for the Historical Society minutes?
I did.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
All right, next, expenditure report.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
Comments?
Page 2. Almost to like the fourth line up from the bottom, the postage still is an issue.
Run in my office and get right next to my window. There's a printout of this. I think
I know I did it.
Okay, do you want to go grab it?
Can I do? So when this report was printed was prior to her adjusting everyone's postage for the year to date.
When was it done? Since
Later
June
that day.
1st?
Later that day.
Okay.
But I will still get that.
So everybody's postage line is off.
It has been for like
Right.
a year and a
It's
half.
still, right.
Yeah, but I think we've got, hopefully got that.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Yes, that one. Thank you. I got some of these I went over one day. I want to give you two. is this coming
I
from?
have the accurate postage if you wanted it.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think if,
Can I get an updated copy sent to my email? 'Cause that way when I go to the budget committee, I
They will
have
have-
the accurate
Yes.
info. Okay, thank you.
But, for instance, like the treasurer's one, there was a refund done on
Right.
that because we got a check back because we closed that post office box.
Okay.
That, for instance, was one of the things that were
Page 7. Fire department building maintenance.
Hold on. Maintenance, building. Yep, that was, which one? We had, it was a generator connection we purchased.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Yep, it was a, sorry. There was a generator connection that was paid for, and then there was also, I'm trying to figure out what that invoice is, but there was another invoice that was over, because of the fire department. Something was in the fire department. I'll get the purchase order for it. So it was over.
This is a demonstration.
The one on
of
the
Wirecast.
mileage, I already know that's the toll.
Yep.
Planning board public notices, I'm assuming that has to do with,
We had a bunch of notices,
Right.
meetings, and it's expensive to post and notify them.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Hawaii.
Highway,
I wish it was Hawaii.
I think they do too. Highway,
Highway professional services, I'm assuming that's the DOT
it was a
Yeah.
Medicare bill. Yep.
physical. Highway miscellaneous.
It was immediate, it was an advertisement.
Oh,
We
for the
advertised
job, that's
job.
right, that's right.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Equipment maintenance on the solid waste and recycling. Line 4324 740.
740. It was McDevitt trucks. 180.80. It was on the trucks.
What's the line?
It's equipment maintenance,
Is it
solid
Yeah,
waste.
that shouldn't be there. She's gonna move that. That
Okay.
was, that should go into the revolving account. Because there's only $1 in that line.
Okay. Okay.
That's just a mistake.
Okay. We all make them, it's all right.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Recreation miscellaneous, never mind, I know what that one is.
That's that.
That needs to be moved too, did they?
Well, they
They haven't had, okay.
They did meet.
we had a meeting, but it wasn't brought up that the money, the rec commission was told that the bills didn't get paid, so that needs to be cleared up at the next rec commission meeting, so it can come out of the correct account.
One.
This is a demonstration of
And
Wirecast.
library mileage, page 13, 4550 840.
Okay. That it's first off, the car has not been available, so and it's also I talked to the library director. It's not always convenient for her to be able to use it, even if it was, because it's kind of awkward for her to go down and use the
So
car.
she's using her POV?
Yeah.
Okay.
demonstration of Wirecast.
Alrighty.
All right, next we have administrator comments.
Okay. We had a department head meeting last week or the week before. Just wanted to let everyone know that the department heads agreed that we're going to get working on our budgets earlier. So that is our project for the summer. So we can be in better shape this year. So that will be being addressed for part of our summer work.
Is a demonstration of Wirecast.
I thought so. The other thing I wanted to announce to everybody is that I talked to our public works director, and he has told me that his road work is going to be starting shortly, and he is going to be doing a shim and overlay on Governor's Road from Mason to Middleton Town Line, Jug Hill Road from Hopper Road to Corbett Road, Wiley Road, Church Street to Spruce Lane, and Heron Circle, the whole road.
Wirecast.
Willie Road.
Willie Road. Then he's planning to do a chip seal, Northeast Pond Road, Cross and McKegney Road, Hare Road, from Thurston to the end of Hot Top. So he's given me some ballpark figures based on tonnage, including backing up of shoulders. The shim and overlay looks like it'll be about $255,000. The chip seal looks like it would be $74,000, total of $329,000.
Of Wirecast.
But that is a ballpark. It's based on tonnage. It includes backing up of shoulders. So, just an FYI.
And what's in the budget for it?
What's in the budget for it? What did you budget?
We get $290, it was voted on in the warrant article, and we have money left over from the last year's project.
Okay.
So we have about 400.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
And we also have to pay out still just under 23,000 to finish the box culvert.
To finish
what?
what?
We had to hold back percentage for a year, or for a number of months, to make sure everything holds up, and then we pay off.
For where?
The box culvert.
Box
Oh,
culvert
okay.
on Town Road.
Gotcha.
And that will be, that'll be finished up this summer. We might hold the paving off until September, because see if we can get a little more settlement out of it, which the engineer recommends, and I agree. If we can do that, if not, the contract is not bound to wait. Its contract said to finish it in the spring.
All right.
That's what I have.
Okay, selectmen comments?
The tour of the Historical Society was
Demonstration of Wirecast.
wonderful. Building is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's well built. I mean, it's got some issues, but for the most part, it definitely needs some work, but it's definitely something that's worth fixing. I mean, it's well built, the construction of it, I mean, they are in a crisis. I mean, there's no doubt about it, where I'd hate to see the history that's in the building disappear or get ruined because of the outside of the building, which it does definitely need some shingles. But for the most part, structurally, and there's a ton of trees, branches that need to get taken off from the building that are taking most of the shingles off. So, but I mean, I wish there was some more enthusiasm as to people to step to the plate to help take care of the. There's a ton of history in there, but that's pretty much it. It's in there. It's not. There's no really flow to it other than. It needs some work, but I mean, I was impressed by it. The building is, definitely salvageable, and it's a history of Milton, so it's foolish not to do something. So I think moving forward, we've kind of beat some things around in our heads. I got some ideas of maybe to do something with it, at least maintain it, to get those so the water doesn't. And there's some leaks there that can be stopped fairly quickly, so I guess that's one of the things. And the other thing is, I appreciate you following through on the town pound. What would be our next steps so this doesn't get lost in the shuffle?
I would say after we review the documentation I presented to you, we need to probably get together as a team and for the next step. We have authority from the landowner.
Yeah.
So we're ready to go, and you are, I think we all work together. I think we can make it work, but the funding will be the first thing.
2,500?
Well, that was the lowest one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there again, that, in the big scheme of things, that's chump change for the history of Milton. I mean, if you don't take care of what we've got, you know, everything else is falling down around us, so we've got to start, at least the stuff we own, we can take care of and get it back up to snuff and draw people to town. I mean, between that, we go to the Farm Museum, the trails, people are starting to really utilize the trails again. So, but other than that, that's all I got.
Aaron?
Again, I think we I'm not going to talk long, had a great time down at the Historical Society. A lot going on down there. I think we need to get some more people involved to keep it flowing. I think Mr. Catwick and with the Townhouse Committee and that there's things that can be done to incorporate them all together, and we're going to work on that. And I want to thank Mr. Catwick for all the work that he has done with the cemetery. I think he's done an incredible job to keep it where it is today, along with his trustees, and I want him to know how much it is appreciated. So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, I think feel the same way about the Historical Society and how our workshop went over there, taking a look at the building, and just one last cry out to the public. Anybody that's interested, the Historical Society could use members and help. So if you get some time, and I'd recommend time and interest, I'd recommend joining. Also tomorrow, 6:30 planning board meeting. There's a few things on the agenda, but one of the things that is on the agenda is the 2018 to 2024 capital improvement project. The police and fire will be presenting their projects. So if anybody's interested in that, the meeting's here at Town Hall. One thing I was thinking of tonight
5:30
is 6:30. Right.
Isn't it 6:30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Podium for public comment. I think we talked about that briefly at the workshop.
Yeah, I've got to get one. We looked at borrowing one. We really can't borrow one. They're kind of expensive. We just got to try to figure out what budget to take out. That's the problem.
So maybe for the next meeting, do you think you could get us what we're talking money-wise? And
yeah, just we do budget.
I don't know if they still have it, but they had one at the Newington Restore. A nice one on wheels for $85.
Okay.
Just putting it out there.
When did you see it?
2 weeks ago. But believe me, that stuff back there does not move fast.
Podium.
Podium? I might be able to find one.
Okay.
You can call them and ask them.
If I call tomorrow, can I ask a department head question?
sure.
If I call tomorrow and they have it, would your guys be able to go get it, Pat?
Where is it?
The podium.
Newington.
Newington.
I can get it.
The old Happy Wheels.
Wait a minute, I can get it.
Oh, you? Okay.
I'll get it. Yeah.
This is a demonstration of
But if
Wirecast.
maybe you should call and check and see if it's there, but also maybe check with Lynette. Sounds like maybe she has a.
You know, I'm always got stuff going.
Okay. I'll make some calls tomorrow.
All right. Okay, my last thing, try to make this quick. So I wanted to follow up with our goal setting workshop. A couple meetings ago, we were presented with some information on using a committee to help the Board of Selectmen do some research and make recommendations on what goals we should be going after. I think it's a great idea. However, it's June now, so I don't think we really have the time to actually go with the committee this year and get that accomplished. I personally think that maybe we should have another workshop where we take a look at the list again, make some decisions on the easy wins, go forward with those, stuff that can be accomplished over the next 6 months, table the rest of it, and then maybe towards the end of the year, talk about getting a committee together and start looking for the first of next year.
And I think we have some good wins in the win column already
Right.
going on, so.
But I think we need to just kind of close that loop, and so either, I guess we could put it on, I'll put it on the agenda for the next Board of Selectmen meeting, or if we want to try to do a workshop before the meeting, what is the feeling of the board?
When's the next meeting?
The 18th, is it? Yeah, the 18th, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to try to do a workshop like the hour before?
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna
go through the list?
We have some more battles next time, so.
Well, we can base it off the, are you guys able to get here at 4:30 again?
Yeah.
If
Yep, as early as 4.
Okay.
Wait. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, make it work.
Okay, so
4:30 is better.
Yeah, 4:30 is better for me too. So
5
depending
is
on
even
what we have for
better.
non-publics, will it be at 4:30 or 5?
Hopefully we won't have 10 again.
Because I mean, if we can have quick ones, I don't think we need an hour.
An hour
Should
and
be
a half.
plenty of time
Yeah. Yep.
to do what we need to do here, I think.
Okay.
All right,
Can I make a
and
note?
that's all I got. And you got an announcement?
Yeah, I believe it's the summer kickoff this weekend for the summer rec program.
It is.
And so I just wanted to throw
Speak
that.
up.
I believe it's this, I was just asking him, because he's on the rec commission, that's why I was.
Yes, you're right.
I believe it's the summer rec kickoff this weekend on Saturday and Sunday with the speedboats. I don't have all the details, but it will be on the town website and the recreation website. So that is at the town beach, and it's the summer rec kickoff. So it's a lot of fun, and people should plan to attend and support the recreation program and participate at the town beach. And hopefully everybody can be there.
On Sunday, they're going to have a rock climbing wall.
I did hear that.
Is a demonstration of Wirecast.
And,
All right.
and then this is some kind of concern, I guess.
You're talking about 2 different meetings.
Oh, they're 2 different meetings.
Economic Development
Oh.
and Planning Board. Planning Board's at 6:30.
All right, got it, Mr.
Calendar
Calendar.
says 6:32.
What?
This calendar.
Okay, 2 different meetings.
Yep,
Okay.
that's all right. Thank you, though.
right.
Better make sure we're correct then.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Sorry.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I gotta get my phone.
Okay.
Without doubting anything, I will have Dana confirm with you in the morning.
One meeting is downstairs and the other meeting is up here. The planning board is up here, the other meeting is
I'm
downstairs.
bringing you guys dinner at the butcher shop.
Yeah,
So the planning board is up here.
How'd you know?
up here.